Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash, Season 4, and this is going to be my review for Episode 14, otherwise entitled Subject 9. So obviously before we get into the rest of the video, there will be spoilers for this episode, and yeah, there's a decent amount that happens in this episode, so if you've not watched it, go watch it, then come back to this video later on. But if you are continuing with this video, then be sure to drop a like on it if you're going to enjoy it. Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this episode, what you like, what didn't you like so much. Just let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So the first thing I do want to bring up before we actually continue on with the actual review is just to wish Kevin Smith a speedy recovery. You know, it's The Flash, so speedy recovery. He actually had a heart attack over the past couple of days, and he basically saved his own life. You know, I know the doctors did a lot, but he himself took himself to the hospital because he had chest pains. And, you know, if he hadn't gone there, he would have been, you know, dead at this time right now. So, you know, it's a scary thing to happen, not just to someone that you look up to. I do like Kevin Smith. I've liked him ever since I was younger when I was watching his movies and stuff like that. Now that he's connected to the shows I love watching as well, it's just awesome. So, yeah, speedy recovery to him. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys already knew about that. But, yeah, let's just wish that he gets, let's just pray that he gets to full health as soon as possible. So obviously this is our first Flash episode in like, what, 3 weeks I guess, because Flash went on break for the Winter Olympics. So the last episode of The Flash was a pretty big episode because, Barry actually got out of jail, but DeVoe got, you know, some more powers thanks to all those metahumans that were in Iron Heights. So DeVoe's pretty powerful right now, but Barry's out of jail. So it's like a, you know, you got some good things happening, but some pretty bad things happening at the same time. So that's basically where we kick off in this episode. So Barry is free, he's walking Central City, he's had a shave, he's doing all good. But unfortunately, Barry is not getting the most, you know, warmest of welcomes at CCPD because people still think it's a bit suspect that all of a sudden, like, Clifford DeVoe has just come out of the blue and, you know, just showed up in court of all places to plead, you know, Barry's innocence and say, I'm alive, Barry didn't kill me. People just think it's a bit suspect, which is understandable. And because they're in a city of Central City with all these metahumans, you know, all these theories and stuff go around like, oh, it could just be a shape-shifting metahuman that Team Flashes or Barry's, you know, friends and stuff have paid off to impersonate DeVoe and get him out of prison. So there's all these different theories and stuff, which is understandable that people would be thinking that. Now, one thing, did other people hear it? When Barry walked in, he was talking to that officer, and I think she had like 2 or 3 lines. Barry referred to her as Patty. Was it Patty or Patty? One of the two. Are they replacing Patty Spivot because she almost sort of has like that, you know, maybe like who they could pass off as a new version of Patty Spivot with glasses, a ponytail. I know cops are meant to have their hair in ponytails anyway, but you know what I mean? So it's weird that he said her name like 2 or 3 times as if to hint to the audience like, oh, this is the new Patty Spivot. So was she the new Patty Spivot? Was he saying Patty, not Patty? I don't know. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think of that, because I was just hearing and I was like, wait, did he say Patty? So maybe they might be recasting Patty and like maybe changing it because of Flashpoint, and maybe she never went away. I don't know what they're going to do there, but I just thought it was a bit weird. One thing I actually liked in this episode, we had it a few times, was Cisco vibing. We haven't had Cisco vibe for a while. He doesn't do it that often, and they should be doing it more often because it's such a handy thing to have. Like, even if like they wanted to see what Barry was doing in jail and stuff like that, they could have vibed in and stuff like that. So it was really weird that Cisco doesn't vibe as often as he does. But we had it a couple times in this episode, so that's a plus. So going by the trailer, we knew that we'd be dealing with the Fiddler in this episode. She would be the new metahuman or bus metahuman. She's the 9th bus metahuman, hence the title of the episode, Subject 9. So Team Flash is dealing with that. It's Izzy Bowen. I can't remember what he... it's a male in the comics. I can't remember what his name is off the top of my head now. But basically, they've taken his male name and put it into like a female name. So his name is like... is like Isaiah maybe or something. Anyway, she's got like a female version of what his male name is essentially. Now she's a country artist. Obviously there's a couple of jokes at the beginning about country music. That really stops after the first like 10 minutes I guess. But yeah, I don't mind country music. I'm not gonna like put it on and listen to it all the time, but if it comes on I'm like, oh, turn this off. I don't really care about it too much. Maybe that's because Australia has a lot of country music artists maybe. There's a lot of country music in Australia, so it's on the radio sometimes. Maybe I'm like you know, accustomed to it. But yeah, I don't mind it that much. Maybe Ralph is going a bit overboard with it, but I don't know. Now, the thing that I saw some people complaining about, which is understandable why they're doing it, is that she basically has almost like sonic powers again. Well, it is sonic powers. It's like sound. So she has like sonic powers, and it's almost like she's like Black Canary or Black Siren, whatever you want to call it, with like a scream, but it's a whole body. So it's like a full body canary cry, almost. That's what it seems like. They could have done something different with her powers. Maybe not made it like a force field. Maybe just like a really high-pitched noise she could do. And maybe make people pass out by just doing noises. Maybe that's what they could do, but they went with this, and I understand why they went with it, because it can be used as like a projectile, if that makes sense. But we've seen it before, so it's nothing really that new. They could have done something different with their powers, but it's just for that episode. I don't necessarily know what happens at the end of the episode. I doubt you're watching this if you have not seen the episode. But I don't necessarily think we'll see DeVoe using her powers too much. I think there's more useful powers that he already has. So maybe it's just for this episode they want to make it a bit more deadly or threatening, her powers, so they made it like a projectile. But speaking of Izzy, Ralph's speech to Izzy I thought was one of the better moments of the episode. Like, they had similarities, obviously the bus metahumans, but also being brought into a team and using their powers, to sort of fight off what's trying to get them. So I thought Ralph's speech to Izzy in this episode was really good, and just Ralph's connection to Izzy was very strong, and we're going to see that play out as we move forward in this season. It's really like a motivator for Ralph, getting revenge for Izzy. But yeah, those two I think played off pretty well in this episode, and it was more Barry that was becoming a bit of an issue in this episode than Ralph, which is a bit of a flip. Now, it was interesting to see that DeVoe was chewing through Hazard's body so fast. Like, he was in Dominic's body for like 3 episodes, I guess. And really, when you think, maybe 3 or 4, I guess you could argue. And really, with DeVoe, with Dominic's as well, like, that was spread over a longer period of time. But with Barry's, like, he would have only been with Hazard's body. DeVoe would have only been in her body for like a couple of days, like not very long, maybe a week at the most in this episode. By the time that what happened, so it was weird that he was going through her body so fast. I'm guessing it's because of all those powers that he's taken in from last episode. But he's absolutely going through her body so fast. So I wonder how often he's going to have to change bodies, because I know people aren't like the biggest fan of, he keeps changing bodies and stuff. But I think it makes sense. He has all those powers now, so it would make sense why he's going through Hazard's body much faster than he was through Dominic or Brainstorm's body. I think that makes sense, but we'll have to wait and see in the next couple of episodes if they're consistent with that. Because if, say, we'll just say it, he's in Izzy's body now. If he's in Izzy's body for like 2 or 3 episodes, then I think it's a bit inconsistent when you compare it to how long he was in Hazard's body. So we'll have to see if they're consistent there. But one thing that was really cool in this episode, and just ties back to season 3, but almost just like throws like a cream pie almost in season 3's face, is the cerebral inhibitor is born. So first you think it's that thing that Cecile puts in her head, which essentially it was. That was basically version 1 of the cerebral inhibitor, and it basically looks like the thinking cap. But then we see that's like a little thing that you just put on the front of her head, just like a little sticker almost that you put on the front of someone's head. But obviously this is a big fail. But it was cool to see the cerebral inhibitor brought in, because a lot of people have been asking since season 3, when's the cerebral inhibitor coming in? Because Savitar said it was used against DeVoe and stuff like that, and it's been so long, there's been no mention of it. It's sort of rushed, I guess. There was no real hint at it. It was really all in this episode, like, there's version 1 in this episode, and here's the final product in this episode as well. You could argue it was rushed. I think maybe the writers were like, look, we need to squeeze this in at some point in this season and get it over and done with, because in last season we said that it would be around. So I think they had to do something in this episode, or at least one of the next couple of episodes, just to get it out of the way. But this all leads into that DeVoe fight, which I thought was really cool. It was really cool seeing DeVoe use not every single ability that she has, but at least the majority of them. Especially just like randomly throwing something. I was like, what the hell is she throwing? And then it expanded. I was like, okay, well, that's Rundin or what's his name, Dwarfstar's powers. Even using Kilgore's powers to interrupt the cerebral inhibitor was really cool. I saw some people asking, like, how is that possible? Wasn't it meant to like stop the powers? My thought is that it was to stop outward projection of her powers, so she couldn't really, say, do the shrinking stuff with Rundin, or use her like Brainstorm's ability to like control people or affect people's minds. But because there was it physically attached to her, I think she could use Kilgore's ability to stuff up the microchip. That's my understanding of what was going on there. So because she has Kilgore's abilities, it allowed her to do that. If she didn't have Kilgore's abilities in that situation, she would have been stuffed. Or DeVoe, whatever you want to say. Or DeVoe would have been stuffed and would have still had that on there, and, wouldn't have been able to do anything. But because he had Kilgore's abilities embedded within himself, it allowed him to stop that thing that was connected to his head. So the cerebral inhibitor was introduced this episode with version 1. We saw version 2, the little eyeball sticky thing, whatever it was. And then it's destroyed. So I don't know if they're going to, further that in the next couple of episodes. But it is important to remember back to season 3. Savitar said that they built it there to use against Devoe. They didn't say it was used to defeat Devoe, which a lot of people got confused. A lot of people saying Pagey. Whenever I've done like cerebral inhibitor videos, people have gone Pagey. They said that it was used to defeat Devoe. I'm like, no, it's used against Devoe. Watch that scene again. It's not used to defeat him. Why would they spoil that last season? It's just used against him. So there was some confusion about that, but it's all explained in this episode. But as I said before, Izzy becomes the new Devoe, and as I said, I'm interested to see how long she is Devoe for, because, you know, Hazard was Devoe for like just over an episode. Like, she became Devoe at the end of last episode and was Devoe until the end, or towards the end of this episode. So I wonder how long Izzy's going to be Devoe for. We know that I don't think there's going to be any Devoe next week unless it's like an end credit scene, because it's like a Flash family centric episode next week with like a random villain of the week that's not a metahuman. So I don't know if we'll see Devoe next week, so we might have to wait till the week after that to see what's going on there. But so we have a new Devoe and another female. So Devoe's getting very used to being in a female body. I wonder if he's got like a weird fetish or something. Anyway. But one other thing that we learned about Devoe, which links to an episode later in the season, which we have talked about. I said it was like exclusive info that I had, which it basically was, because no one else really knew about it unless I told them. And that is that Devoe's base or hideout or whatever is in another dimension, because his chair is like moving in a different space, like a different reality. And the villain, or the person that we're meeting in episode 18, who is most likely another bus metahuman, I think they are, is called the Folded Man, who you know, with different interpretations of the character, he can enter other dimensions, but his base character is just that he can portray himself as like 2D or 4D rather than our regular 3D. So I think in episode 18 we're going to be dealing heavily, or maybe episode 18 and 19 we're going to be heavily dealing with the dimension stuff with Devoe's base, because I think that's going to be an important thing in regards to Team Flash. Us, you know, stopping Devoe getting around so easily and just taking an advantage away from him. So we're going to have to wait a couple of episodes for that, but at least they revealed that in this episode, which was good to see. As I said, Ralph is on a revenge mission. I don't think Ralph's going to be in next episode. I think he's going to go on that break. So whenever we see Ralph again is whenever we see him, I guess. He's back in episode 17. I know that because he's in the Kevin Smith episode. But yeah, he's going to be very vengeful and trying to get back with Izzy. I wonder if he's going to have any interactions with Izzy as Devoe. Like, I know we had one at the end of this episode, but I mean, like, later on where, like, Izzy is, you know, Devoe's been in Izzy's body for a bit. I wonder if there's going to be another interaction there. That'd be pretty interesting, and I think it'd be a wasted opportunity if we didn't get that. So we should be expecting that in the next couple of episodes. And also we do hear Harry talking to Cecile about Jesse. So we'll see Jesse next week in that Flash family episode. And I wonder if there's going to be some drama between Harry and Jesse as well. I'm guessing there will be. But I'm looking forward to next episode and to Flash time. Been looking forward to it for a while. So yeah, can't wait. But overall, I thought this was a pretty solid episode, furthering the Devoe storyline, explaining some stuff from last season with the cerebral inhibitor and just pushing some stuff forward for this season. So I thought it was very relevant to the season. Someone's going to call it a filler episode because people will. But I thought it was a pretty solid episode. As I've come to deal with the Flash this season, I thought it's been on par with the other episodes we've had. But next week, I'm looking very much forward to that episode. Can't wait for it. And yeah. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below. What was your favourite part of the episode? What didn't you like too much? Just leave your overall thoughts, might I say, in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.